What's happening, everybody? Welcome in to Southeastern 16. We're presented by FanDuel. This is our Clemson at South Carolina preview. Let me tell you about our friends at GameTime. SIDEKICKS, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, plus over 350 more universities. Everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, and 40-ounce plus bottles and shaker cups. SE16 for the 20% discount to viewers. Okay, FanDuel has South Carolina -2.5 at a -115 price. Gamecocks -138 on the money line. Clemson +115 on the comeback. 46.5 is your total. I'll go through some props and whatnot here in a minute. Clemson 6-5 straight up, 4-7 ATS. They are 3-1 both straight up and against the spread on the road. South Carolina 4-7 straight up, 6-5 ATS. This is their regular season finale, their save the season ball game against their arch rival, who they beat last year in a low-scoring thriller, 17-14. They also won 31-30 in comeback fashion at Clemson in 22, but Clemson has won all 8 of the other 10 games played in the last decade. So I'm not really sure. I'm only going back 10 years. I don't know when the last time South Carolina won at home to Clemson, but I do know it was the Spurrier era. So it has been a minute since they got a dub at home. Your thoughts, Mr. Greeson?
What a puzzling game for everybody trying to pick it and everybody rooting. I mean, look, man, this is it's the disaster bowl, right? I mean, Clemson was preseason top 5, and understandably, South Carolina was preseason top 15. And now the only thing on the table is pride.
It's going to be a bad bowl game for Clemson. I mean, are they making a move on Beamer? I mean, is he fighting for his job here? I don't think so. I think he's back, right?
No, he's 100% back unless he decides to leave.
He's Virginia Tech's got a
coach.
South
Carolina doesn't want to wade into these waters.
No,
at this juncture. I mean,
not with these heavy hitters.
The heavy hitters and so many guys, so many programs who have already targeted the backup plans for Ole Miss, LSU, Florida, wherever the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes lands. If you're South Carolina, you can't get into this late.
No, they can't. But he'll go into next year on a hot seat. He has a Herculean task in retaining Lenoris sellers for next year. Speaking of Lenoris, rushing yards prop 24.5. Rashul Faison, his is 28.5. Adam Randall's is 49.5. In last year's meeting, Klubnik was 24 of 36, 280 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns and 62 rushing yards on 10 attempts. Sellers was 13 of 21, 164 yards, no tutties, and 1 pick. But excuse me, like Klubnik, he did have 2 rushing touchdowns, and he had 166 rushing yards on 16 attempts. But he has just gotten sacked so often that it makes it hard to bet his rushing yards props. I'm going to tell you about our friends at Yearly Company, a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition and designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14K gold and natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Because every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized, knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where our sizing kit comes in. Code SE16KIT will take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. Also, the world's ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, Rock Lock secure mounting SEC 25 for 25% off. So after the debacle in College Station, South Carolina got a 51-7 win over Coastal last week as a 24-point favorite. So they're actually 3-1 against the spread their last 4. They obviously covered against Bama and A&M. Not so much at Ole Miss, but they did against Coastal. Whereas Clemson here lately, they beat Furman 45-10 last week, but failed to cover. And then they had the back-to-back wins, FSU at home and at Louisville prior to that. Predictions. What you thinking here, Mr. Greeson?
I actually think South Carolina shows up with more to play for. And I mean, look, Clemson has underwhelmed from the get, and there's a different animal in the level of disappointment of being a team that was thinking it's a national champion contender and a team that thinks it is a playoff contender. Now, both of these teams are dealing with disappointment. I'm not saying, I mean, hell, man, the Palmetto State is the pissed off state right now in terms of college football. So
that's true.
Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad. But South Carolina can, and rivalry games generate different blood. I get that. But South Carolina feels like on a better trajectory than Clemson does, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, no, they shoulda, woulda, coulda beat Alabama and Texas A&M on the road. I mean, they've played some good ball at times here lately. So you like South Carolina, correct?
I do.
I lean that way as well, but I'm going to dip into the player prop market, which has been very good to me, way better than my other picks here lately. I'm going to go Nick Harbor anytime touchdown, which is plus 145. Harbor has scored a touchdown in each of the last 4 games. I will also go with his receiving prop over 48.5. He had 102 against A&M, 69 against Ole Miss, and 54 against Bama. So 3 in a row, he's gotten to 54. So that's what I will go with. I'm not against the Lenoris over 24.5 rushing yards either. And South Carolina is my play on the side. Any of those player props interest you, or are you just sticking with your Gamecocks?
No, I mean, I would. In Tennessee, we don't have the option to bet
player props
in college games. And you know what? I get that. We need to have a real conversation in bets and ball games about college sports player props only need to be overs.
Over, yeah, just no unders. And then I don't think there's a problem with it being over. You're not going to manipulate the under. You want the over to make money in the pros and NIL, exactly, etc. There's no drawbacks.
If you're in, same with the NBA, same with Major League Baseball, same with it can't be a first pitch ball.
Especially the way those Indians boys were throwing that first pitch.
Oh my God! He bounced one like at 54 feet.
Those boys are going to prison for a long time.
They are. They
really messed up.
They're going to be in like a San Juan gang and get like a whole bunch of back tats. And I mean, this is not a pretty future for guys who should be giggling about having made $50 million pitching a Major League Baseball.
The Palmetto Bowl is at noon Eastern Saturday on the SEC Network. Jay and I like South Carolina, and I like Nick Harbor. Anytime touchdown, plus 145. Receiving yards over 48. And Lenora Sellers over 24.5. Rushing yards. For Jay Greeson, I'm Brian Edwards. This is Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel. Enjoy the Gamecocks and the Tigers.